So hello and welcome on my channel. Welcome to the second section of the so-called Neckarsteig, Neckar Trail in English, that I'm hiking with Thomas today. My name is Klaus and my trail name is School's Out. School is out, an appropriate name for a teacher. The second section, it is a cold winter day, but sunny. Spring is coming, it's the 1st of March, almost spring, and the fog is clearing up, and hopefully we are going to have a bright and sunny afternoon with a lot of sunshine and with nice and good spring weather. Come with me and see what one can discover here in the south of Germany. See you later. We started our hike in Gundelsheim with a beautiful view at Castle Hornberg, one of the many castles in the area. However, surprise, surprise, there was a diversion and we had to hike an extra 2.5 kilometers. We didn't mind because the weather was quite sunny and beautiful, and we had a lovely view at the little village of Mosbach by the river Neckar. Along the trail you can find these benches where the entire trail is carved in. And for every town they have drilled a hole. Occasionally you see one of the big ships on the mighty river Neckar, which make the scene more beautiful. Shortly after we saw Castle Hornberg, where we are heading to. It was still in the distance and a few miles to go. As there was this diversion, we had to climb a little mountain called Michael's Mount, where we saw this chapel in the distance. We didn't know what it was and were curiously approaching it. Unfortunately, the sun was going away and there was a chilly, cold wind. As there was a wall around the chapel, we got the idea that it may be a cemetery. So this is a typical view over the region. In the distance you could see a bird of prey hunting. It was too small, you cannot see it on the video. You know that spring is definitely coming when you see the first snowdrops, beautiful little flowers along the way. Around the corner we go, and indeed, we were not mistaken, it is a cemetery. So let's go in and see if the chapel is open and spend a few silent minutes in there. We are now inside the chapel, which is a very beautiful Protestant little church, and we were the only visitors. Let's light a candle and pray for peace. We left the little chapel and passed a farm where we met these three beauties, enjoying their dinner.
Die Kuh macht Mu.
Come on, give me a kiss. Mwah! No watchdog, but watch geese. About an hour later, we were climbing the hill and eventually reached Castle Hornberg. As you can see, there's also a road that leads to the castle and a parking lot, and quite a many people had chosen that way to visit the castle. There's a restaurant inside that we will see in a few minutes.
So this is a sign that tells you about the trees that are here in the area, and they are called Eibe. In Latin, here you see the Latin name, should you be interested in trees. So this is Castle Hornberg, where the famous knight Götz von Berlichingen said his very famous words to the German emperor, by the way, or to the messenger of the German emperor: "You can lick my ass." In German he actually said, "You can lick my ass inside. You can lick me in the ass." Yeah. So.
Ja, aber es war ziemlich problematisch hierher zu kommen, weil die Auto war voll. Und
So this building here is the old Marstall. Mar is an old German word for a female horse. It is mare in English, which is goes back to the same Germanic root. Today it is a restaurant. So let's see if we have a good scenic view over the valley. So there are people working in the vineyard. And again, there is the mighty river Neckar. And the castle and the restaurant. You must pay a fee of €7 to climb the tower and visit the museum afterwards. So there's an ancient lock and a modern door. Yeah, I'm putting my coin in to open it. You must be careful, it is very narrow and you can get easily stuck when you have a big backpack like I had. But unfortunately I managed to squeeze through and now I'm inside. Curiously looking at the first sight, and what do I learn? There are newts and salamanders in the area. Inside, the castle is amazingly big and, well, you must watch out that you don't get lost.
So we are in the living room area of the castle.
In the background you can see the door that leads to the staircase of the tower that we are going to tackle now. And people who are interested in herbs can spend a little while here in the ancient herb garden. So, and that's the door. A little statue of the knight that used to live here, Knight Götz. And in we go. This must have been the party room of the knights. Yeah, there's a huge fireplace and it still seemed to be used as a party room because there are modern times benches and tables. I didn't count the steps, but I got out of breath, I must admit. So we are climbing and getting higher. So at every window you have a very scenic view over the river Neckar and over the Odenwald, the forest. This is almost at the top, a little platform underneath. The last stairs are made of wood, and we were very lucky because the little room in the top of the tower had a roof, and we were not exposed, completely exposed to the cold and chilly wind, which was quite good because we had started to perspire. So that's as high as you can get inside. There is a proverb in the German language that something, an action, for example, something ends, like the shooting at Hornberg, and this shooting has really taken place. In medieval ages, the German emperor was expected, all cannons were loaded to greet the emperor with cannon fire. The soldier in the tower saw a huge cloud of dust at the horizon and thought it was the emperor, and consequently the cannons were shot, but it turned out that the dust was caused by a herd of cattle and an innocent peasant who was the cattle driver, So everything was in vain. And if something was in vain, you say it was like the shooting of Hornberg Castle. Even today, many centuries later. We went downstairs and went into the museum. Here you see a picture of Knight Götz. That's the one who said you can lick my ass. And now we are in the warm and cozy museum, which we enjoyed very much because we were quite cold. Here a few medieval muzzle-loader pistols and Thomas reading a sign that told us everything about former people who lived here. The story of Götz von Berlichingen, who lost his right hand by cannon fire, one of these tiny long cannons here. And here is a replica of the iron fist that he got afterwards. We also learned that there are brown bears in the area, but a brown bear in Germany is a butterfly. So after the castle, we tackled the last third of our trail and were hiking towards the little town of Mosbach. Not far away from Mosbach. Mosbach is still 4.8 kilometers away. You find a seminar center, a meeting place for adolescent, juvenile people of the Protestant Church of Baden-Württemberg, which is a state here in the region. There is also a monument, a Holocaust monument, that reminds people of the victims of the Third Reich. After the meeting center, we hiked again 2 or 3 kilometers through the woods until we came to the former military barracks Neckar Kaserne. Kaserne is the German word for barracks, which used to be an Air Force barrack, which is now being transformed to a training center for the police. An old oak tree, a few hundred years old, and nice to look at. So there is a monument stone that reminds people of a forest warden that died here at this place, and the stone was erected in 1924. So the Camino says goodbye. We are also on a part of the German St. James Trail. You know that you are approaching Mosbach when you see houses between the trees. This section of the trail ends at the station in Mosbach, which is still about 2 kilometers away. Before you get there, you walk through a residential area. You can look in the garden of people, and then you are in the outskirts of this town. And then the trail goes downhill into the historic center, not far away from the station. And I'm saying goodbye for today. Bye bye.